Hey everyone, this is No Basics, the YouTube channel. I've been offline for quite some time. I've been sick and I just got a new job, so that's two of the things that kind of led to being offline a lot and not delivering as much content. Today I will be talking about a few decks that I've been just playing with and stuff like that. And the new generation set is also online. Today is the 24th. It's the release date of the Mythical Mew Box collection. And let's just go over the cards for that set. There's nothing that really stood out to me in the competitive side of it, but there are some cool cards and also some reprints. These are okay. Like, I like how these look. The reverse hollow ones are nice. Alright, so Pokemon. Alright, so let's see if I can zoom in on this, if it'll let me. Alright, so our first card is Altaria, which has an attack called Fairy Friend. If you have any fairy Pokemon on your bench, this attack does 60 damage. So it's 2 for 60. I like the art on these cards. They're not super competitive. Here we have a reprint from Roaring Skies, the full art Articuno. I like how that looks. We have Blastoise EX. It's an option to play this instead of the Blastoise EX from the XY base set. Has Hydro Press, which doesn't seem, that good, and Hyper Whirlpool, which seems okay, but for an EX, you kind of expected more, so. Let's just talk about the card arts, I guess. I mean, this one right here is pretty interesting. The Charizard with the Recall attack. You can use that for Charmeleon to find a supporter card, I guess. It's a bit slow. Some of the things stood out to me, like this Frostlass has the drag along ability. If this Pokemon is your active Pokemon and is knocked out by damage from an attack, flip a coin if heads, the attacking Pokemon is now knocked out. It's pretty cool. And Snowy Drop, put 4 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. It's pretty cool. We have Flareon EX. This is the full Flareon. I can see this card being used more so than like the other EXs in the set. It has an ability called Flash Fire, which is a name of the set as well. So once during your opponent's turn, once during your turn, before you attack, you may move a fire energy from one of your Pokemon to this Pokemon. And you have Blaze Ball, which is a 50 base and 20 more for each fire energy attached. So that would be good with something like Team Ava's Camera Up, or just a lot of max elixirs and blacksmiths, just a bunch of stuff to get energy accelerated to go to it. And you can also play this card with Fighting Fury Belt to give it more HP, so it won't get knocked out as easily. And then you can retreat it, and if you have 2 of them in play, you can put another one up, use Flash Fire, I guess, with a Blacksmith and Flash Fire. You can hit for 110 and 120 with the Fighting Fury Belt. So it's a pretty good number. But seeing as how you can only move 1 at a time, yeah, so it's not as good as I thought it was, but still pretty alright. Here we have a reprint Gardevoir from Primal Clash. Same attacks and everything. Same thing with Ghastly. Golem looks really cool. I like this card. I believe it's a flash fire reprint. It didn't get too much attention. Here we have a fighting EX. This is Golem EX with Boulder Crush and Megaton Fall. I could see this being used and expanded maybe with like Scramble Switch or something like that, or with like Furious Fist Landorus or something like that. I also think this card's kind of interesting. Jolteon's attack called Flash Ray. During your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from basic Pokemon. So that's pretty cool. I don't think it'll see a lot of play in the competitive side of things, but I think it's cool. It's something new, I feel, so you can make use of that in future videos for sure. I didn't see anything impressive about Leafeon really. It can hit for 120 to the stadium in play. It takes 2 grass and a colorless. Who knows? Who knows? Blastoise, Mega Blastoise, 180, another magic number. We have a Mega Gardevoir reprint. A lot of people love this card art, which is no surprise. Here we have a Mega Venusaur, 130. Flip a coin if it says 30 to all of your opponent's bench Pokemon. You can see this in combination with maybe like Gengar or I don't even know, something that does bench damage. Here we have Mega Charizard, Heat Typhoon. This attack is actually pretty okay if Charizard did have a Spirit Link. I could see that being used a little bit. We have Pikachu reprints from the one from the base set of XY. We also have a Circle Circuit Raichu. Same attack, different art. We have Snorunt. Probably the best card in the whole set right here, Snorunt. And this is cool, we have a Wobbuffet reprint, but the card art's different. I like this art more than the one before, so we'll be seeing those a lot. We have a full art Zapdos. And probably the largest thing to come into play here is Evital from the XY base set got reprinted. So those are a pretty popular card now in expanded and standard, so it's good that they're being reprinted so that people can get a hold of them easier. Yes, Slurpuff. Alright, let's talk about some decks right quick that I've been using since why not, right? Alright, this is standard. That's this one. Alright, first one I've done, it was a little bit ago. I haven't talked about stuff in a while, so... this is Speed Parasect Ho-Oh. I'm not sure about this list. I've only played this like twice since I put it together. So, the objective of the deck is to start with Paras and use Forest of Giant Plants to evolve the Parasect on your first turn. Use Colorful Spores to search your deck for 3 Pokemon. No, sorry. Choose 3 of your Pokemon. For each of those Pokemon, search your deck for a different type of basic energy and attach it to those Pokemon. So, like, you would pick Ho-Oh, Ho-Oh, and Ho-Oh, and you would choose, like, Grass, Electric, or Water, or Fire, Electric, and Grass, or something like that. And, yeah, you're like, well, that seems pretty okay, I guess. Doesn't seem like the best idea. But to help it along, we have 2 Max Elixir, we have 4 Winona. You can change this to 3 and 3 or something like that of that nature. This is just a rough idea to help you get the like gist of the deck and to play around with it, whatever works for you. And so we have 4 Winona to get Ho-Ohs and Shamans. and put them on the bench and draw cards with Shaman. And Fighting Fury Belt is a big card in this deck because Ho-Oh attacks for 130, but with this you can attack for 140. Now, if you attack two 170 HP Pokemon, like one active and one on the bench, you can Lysander the one on the bench for next turn and get 2 knockouts. So that's pretty ridiculous. And we play 1 Starling Megaphone just in case for if our opponent has Fighting Fury Belt. So that's kind of what we're doing here. You can also play Energy Recycler. It lets you shuffle 5 basic energies from your discard into your deck. It's always an option. I haven't played this in a while, so the energies aren't yet there. Okay. Alright, so that's Ho-Oh and Parasect. This is a Durant deck from Breakpoint. It's kind of what I've been using. It's similar to some of the people's lists that I've seen online. I just, again, this is like a rough idea. I play for Professor Birch because I found that I was always needing some cards to draw, so because I didn't feel like I had a lot in my hand at all, really. Let's talk about Durant. Durant, if this Pokemon has any damage counters on it, you may discard the top 4 cards of your opponent's deck. So, you use Team Magma's base to put damage counters onto it from your hand. You can use Rainbows to damage it more. We have a 1/1 Bronzong for some energy acceleration, and we pair that with Smeargle. We have Octillery for being able to draw cards. We have Bunnelby to discard cards in the late game, and this is a new card. It's called a Delinquent. You may discard a Stadium card in play. If you do, your opponent discards 3 cards from his or her hand. It's actually a really good card, especially in this deck, because we can burst a Secret for it, or, and we also have Ace Trainer, because we never take prize cards, so we can play this card. Our opponent shuffles in and draws 3, and we always get the full 6, so yep, just a bunch of stuff to look at, I suppose. Alright, and this is one that I've really been trying to work on. It's not as good as I hoped it to be, but this is Tyrantrum and Mega Manectric. Now, I have a 4-2 line because it's what I have in real life, so I'm trying to see how it would play, because I don't get that much time to play in real life, so. This is Tyrantrum. He does 4 for 190, discard 3 energies. Damage from this Pokemon isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active, so things like Safeguard and Regice, stuff like that, and just Slash as well. It just goes straight through that. So we have a 1 Double Dragon in case we need the acceleration just a little bit, because it provides 2 for the 2 energies for Tyrantrum, and we may play 4 Manectrics because we always want to start with Manectric. So we can attach a Spirit Link and Mega Evolve the following turn. We could play Hoopa and Perilous City. That's an option I think I'm going to try out pretty soon. So you can use Hoopa for like Manectrics and a Shaman, and discard the Shaman with Perilous City. That's an option. We play a 1/1 Bronzong and a 1 Raikou. I might change this to 2. I found that it's a pretty good card in some matchups, so it's nice. And play a lot of 1 supporters, I guess. Play 4 of them. 1 Delinquent, as I talked about earlier. 1 Giovanni Scheme I thought's really cool, because you can do 20 more damage for your turn, or draw until you have 5. If you do the 20 more damage on Tyrantrum, you can hit for 210, or if you have the Fighting Fury belt attached, you can hit for 220, which is a knockout on like Rayquaza, the Mega Rayquaza, and Mega Mewtwo, I suppose. Mega Mewtwo Y. So we have one RCs because we can switch in and out of that with our free retreat on the Mega Manetrix. Everything else is pretty simple. Just, yeah. We have 2 Max Potion because our deck has high attacking Pokemon, and we want to take advantage of the full amount of health, so we can attach Turbo Bolt, Retreat, Max Potion, Turbo Bolt, Retreat, Max Potion. So that's kind of the idea, to power up a Tyrantrum or 2 and go for the Megas. What else we have? Mega Glalie is one of my favorite decks. I played this in a couple of tournaments, like states and cities. I think they were cities and what league challenges, or I don't even know. So I was just playing this a whole lot. I love this deck because you can either use Instant Freeze for 150 or 170 each turn with Muscle Band, and the deck plays a lot of Judge, so it'll mess your opponent up quite a bit. So it's a lot of fun, and you can also use Cryomouth at some point for 100, 120 with Muscle Band, 250 or 270 with Muscle Band, which is a little bit much. But if you have a Muscle Band on the Mega for Cryomouth, you can Lysander out Shamans and just knock them out. So some cool stuff. Yeah, we play 3 Dive Ball because everything in the deck is water, aside from Shaman and Jirachi, which I think is cool. So that's that. We have Mega Man Ho-Oh is a deck that people have been talking about. At least I've seen things about it. This is a list from, I think, one of Team Fish Knuckles people. I don't even know really, but I was just like, I'm gonna try it out. It's not for me really, so I was just putting it out there. This is the deck. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory, I suppose. I believe the deck played a Hoopa, but I don't really like playing Hoopa because I usually start with it, you know. So that's that. I tried this Starmie deck out recently, and it didn't really work too well. I was trying to use the Starmie from Breakthrough with Balance Bind. If you and your opponent have the same amount of bench Pokemon, its attack does 30 damage, and your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. So I was trying to control the bench space with Paralycity to make it to where you or them only have 3 Pokemon, and a target whistle to add a Pokemon to the bench if you need to. Played a 1/1 Bronzong with 4 Steel and 6 Water. I put Area Dose with Sparkling Robe to add 10 more damage to them between turns, and you won't be able to take any. Because Starmie's attack is 30, with Paralycity it's 10, so you can add 10 more per turn. It's kind of silly, so didn't really work out too well. What else? I have Rainbow Road. I played this deck for regionals because I thought it was pretty strong. I did okay with it. This is the exact list I played, except I added a computer search for a level ball and a silver bangle for a muscle band. And I took out Tierno for a Xerosic, and I think I took out an Ultra Ball for a judge or something like that. So yeah, this is pretty much what I played. Pretty much. And yeah, so for those who don't know what the deck does, it's Rainbow Force. Does 3 damage more for each different type of Pokemon on your bench. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, because he is 2 types if he's in play. And he's good against like Mewtwo and Manectric, because he can hit for weakness on both of those. So yeah, that's the deck. Sorry I haven't been posting a lot of videos. I wasn't aware that people cared about seeing my videos, so I just got a request from my friend Sage in Washington, and he was like, you should post more. So Sage, you got me to post stuff, I guess. And I'm at home sick, so I guess that has something to do with it as well. But thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day and enjoy the generation set. See you next time.